Hello and welcome to this episode of the Reset Podcast. I'm your host, Laura Mignot. This is part of my 29 Days of Magic series where I interview an awesome Black woman every single day, 29 straight days. And today I'm delighted to have Lauren Persons, who's a mom and educator. She has a great backstory and I can't wait for you all to listen. Hey Lauren, how are you?
Hey, I'm great. How are you today?
Just been talking to people all day long.
I love that.
Trying to knock out all these interviews in like a day.
That's awesome.
Which is kind of aggressive, but I was like, you know what? Today's the day I'm gonna try and do like 7 of these.
And then you could batch it, and then it's we like to work smarter, not harder. So we got to knock it all out in a day and get it done. Then that's fine.
That's what we're gonna do. This is what we're gonna do. So, and all the stories have been so amazing and inspiring and have just been warmed my heart. So I'm super glad to be doing this and delighted to have you on the show.
I am so excited to be here.
So first question, always same answers, always amazing. Sure, yours will be no different. Lauren, what was your first job?
Oh man. The first one I kept.
It does not have to be.
So the first job I had was actually a shampoo girl at a hair salon. I think I was 12 or 13. Like, one of the under the table kind of jobs.
Yeah, listen.
My mom's friend at the time had a hair salon. And so I would wash towels and like restock the shampoo bowls. But the first job I got paid to do and kept for longer than 2 days was at Wawa.
You went to Wawa. Awesome. What did you do at
Wawa? My favorite thing to do at Wawa was be the cashier. So they had me, they make you do everything. But so I was like making coffee. I never made it to making sandwiches. So I didn't get that like level of Wawa master. But I was like restocking shelves and doing stuff like that. But cashier was my favorite thing to do.
Because you get to count the money.
Exactly.
I see.
We go where the money resides. Like
I see where the money resides. Whatever happened to that dude?
Oh, he's still out there. He just did a tax return, a tax place commercial. I just saw it. It went across, I think, my TikTok the other day.
Love that.
Yeah.
Where the money resides. All right. So we go from where the money resides as a cashier at Walmart to where we are now. What has that journey been like?
Oh my word. How much time do you have? No. So it is a winding road. I like to tell people that my journey to where I am right now didn't happen overnight, and it happened as a result of me finally listening to myself. I started my career in administrative work. I'm very good with keeping other people organized, myself not so much, but other people I'm great at it.
Yeah, totally.
So in like a government contractor, I worked at the Washington Nationals baseball stadium for a bit part-time, got into the federal government, left the federal government, went into the private sector, left the private sector, and now I'm a third grade teacher. And so when people hear that I'm a career switcher, but that I came from what could be considered a cushy, quote unquote, job where I sat behind a desk all day, truly, to then come into public education. They look at me like I'm crazy, but it really is like a calling. I won't say the calling, but it is a calling on my life. And so I had to get to the point where I stopped running and listen. And so now I teach every day and I have more gray hair on my head than I should at my age, but I don't think there's anything else right now in this moment that I could do that would feel like it was in alignment.
Wow. So amazing. Okay. All right. Let's start with the third grade teaching, because I feel like when I was in third grade, it was a million years ago.
Same.
And the things I had to worry about as a third grader versus what you have to worry about as a third grader now. As in, there were no worries when I was in third grade.
Right.
There wasn't social media. There weren't, gun drills.
Yeah.
So what is it like teaching?
I will say that it is the only thing that I can liken it to, honestly, is motherhood, because they require an equal amount of giving. And so motherhood and educating are both seemingly thankless jobs, where you do not see the return on investment for years to come, if you see it at all. With children, like the children that I birthed that are mine, the hope is that the return on investment comes when they're adults and they are functional and they're in the world and they are able to sustain themselves, et cetera, et cetera. But with the students that you teach, you have them for 180 days, 180 instructional days, and they are coming with whatever they come with. And so just like you and I have different stories, and we probably had different stories when we were third graders, all 21 of my students have different stories than one another. And so I don't know everybody's entire story, nor do I think I have the capacity to. But my job is to step in and do more than just teach how to decode words and how to read fluently and how to use multiplication to divide and understand in fractions and about the life cycle and about economics. It really is teaching children how to be people. And I don't mean that in a way of indoctrination, like how, people be saying. It really is to be kind to somebody because you don't know what they're going through, how to sit and listen, even when your body is trying to move and fidget in a way, that you sometimes can't control, how to respect each other's differences, how to command respect and also give it at the same time. And so I think there are layers to teaching now that I know didn't exist when I was a student. When I was in third grade, I was in a small Christian private school. And so the things that I dealt with, I know that these kids are dealing with monumentally more than I had at that age, at least in school. But it is a really interesting spot to be in because there's just so many there's so many layers to it. Like education just has so many layers to it. And there are things that we have to compete with as teachers that I know our teachers didn't have to, like you said, like social media. So I have to compete with the wow and shock factor of TikTok and Instagram that I know we didn't have to compete with, and have to find a way to still make the content engaging enough for them to pay attention and to promote like academic growth. Because my job is to get them ready to go to fourth grade. And so how can I get them there even if they came in the door 2 to 3 years behind?
And how does that even, I mean, how do you even navigate that?
Okay, here's I'm laughing because I don't know. Like, and
I would imagine so.
And I say that full understanding that I don't know probably isn't the best answer, but like you just put your head down and do it, if that makes sense.
You figure it out.
I am extremely blessed to work with a team of women, because my team is all women, in the grade level, who number one have been teaching much longer than I have. But number two, the five of us and our coach really gel very well together. And we have no problem stepping in for each other, helping when a kid is in crisis. If one of us doesn't understand like how to plan something or how to do something, another one is there to help us, like to help each other out. I will say this is the best professional team I think I've ever been on, because all of us have similar and different skill sets that help us really be able to go in the trenches together. Because it really is, you put your head down in August and you open your classroom door and you get it ready for the 20 to 25 kids that all you know about them is the name on the paper, truly, unless you happen to run into them the year before. All you know is the name on the paper, and then you go through the year building relationships with them, seeing where they are, seeing what they like so you can try to tie that into a lesson, seeing what they don't like so you don't mention that, seeing what kind of feedback they need, how to get them to do things that they may not want to do, and bouncing ideas off of the other adults that we have in the hopes that in June, when we close these classroom doors behind us, we really can say that we did all we could do. Even on the days where we didn't want to show up, we still do. So it really is not a individual effort. My classroom, I guess, is an individual effort because it's my name on the door. But the woman that shows up to teach every day is the sum total of, the five of us, really the six of us that work together every day to help each other get through it.
It takes a village, literally and figuratively.
Absolutely. 100%. I wouldn't be able to do this job without it.
Amazing. You know, I think sometimes people think that like Abbott Elementary is what real schools look like. Could you help dispel that myth?
Absolutely. So I will say I purposefully have seen, episodes here and there. I haven't done like the full watch of the entire series, not because I don't want to, but because I have kids and they take my TV over and they don't let me be great. Of what I have seen, there are pockets of it that are absolutely the truth, where you know that you have kids who come in and school is their safe space and school is their safe place. And then you have, coworkers who at first, people are people wherever they go. And so, people come in with their personalities and everything and they clash or they get along or whatever. But I think people don't really understand the level of dedication that their child's teacher or their children's teacher or whatever kid is in their village, that their teacher has to their craft. Because I know I'm a parent as well, and it's really easy to be like, well, why didn't they tell me this? Why didn't they do this? Why didn't they respond to my email fast enough? Why didn't and all the things that are wrong is very easy to do, and that's also showing up in the rhetoric nationally right now. But for the lion's share, and I can't, I'm not going to say that there are not bad eggs, because there are. We know every sector has them. Every sector has people who shouldn't be in their job for whatever reason, whether it be personal, professional, or ethical. But for the lion's share of teachers and for the lion's share of the people that I come to work with every single day, we really do care about these kids. And like, we're here because we care about the kids. And like, it's not all comedy. Like, children are coming in with real life struggles and problems and real life things that are going on that some of us adults probably couldn't fathom, that they have to deal with at 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 years old. And to remember that like the teachers are human too. Because I don't know that we see a lot of that in shows, like in mainstream culture, period, that like teachers have feelings. Like, we're not like, we have to get up and teach like we don't, because like that's part of the job, is that we can't let what may or may not be going on outside of here infiltrate into here. But like, we really are people who have hopes and dreams and who really care about the kids that are sitting in front of us, and that we really do try our best every day.
That's the thing. Well, I can only speak for myself, but thank you.
Yeah.
Because educating kids today seems like such a Herculean task with so many different things. And I tip my hat to anybody who has the patience, love, and care to do it.
I really do think it's a call. Like, it is a thing that you can't do if you're not called to do it. And I know that gets, that can get into the esoteric or woo-woo side or whatever. But like, I really think each of us is destined to do something or some things. And if this is a pit stop in your journey, if this is a stop in your journey, then it's one that has to be destined to be made. Because without it being something innate in you or something inside of you that has either been innately put there or nurtured over time, it is not a sustainable career if it's not there.
It just isn't.
Yeah, it's not.
So obviously, job heavy, stressful. So Lauren, what does Lauren do for Lauren? What do you do for your self-care?
Girl, my therapist has been beating that over the head for the last year with me, specifically because I'm on the heels of a divorce. And with any significant life change comes a need for deep, deep self-care and self-renewal. And so for me in this season, that looks like the music that I listen to is very intentional. I'm getting back into reading for pleasure and not just for my job. When it's not 4 degrees outside, like, I can't wait until the spring thaw so I can go back outside, because that's really what helped me get through the process of realizing I needed to get a divorce and filing was being outside. Coloring is a big thing. And I'm also into I guess woo-woo is the way to describe it, but astrology, tarot, spirituality as a whole, psychology, human design, personality tests, like anything like that that helps me understand me, really at this point has become self-care, because I need to know why I tick the way I do. And once I figure that out, then it's like getting the cheat code to how the rest of my life can be the best of my life, which sounds so cliche, but it really is about getting back to the things that I did as a child, which would be the coloring, and like gem painting is a thing, or the gem art that you can like take a gem off and put it on a dot. It's like color by number, but it's little gems. That and making things. So like I make t-shirts to sell on Etsy, and that is dual self-care and like get some extra money in my pocket.
We love this. We must share.
Yeah. Making stickers and like just surrounding myself with stuff that looks, feels, smells, and sounds good is really my North Star right now.
I love that because it's just what feels good.
Mm-hmm.
Please do what feels good. Like I think we are in this very bizarro moment, and folks are trying to figure out what to do. And I'm like, whatever the fuck feels good, please do.
Literally, if it makes you
happy,
puts a smile on your face, releases a little bit of the tension, because I'm not gonna sit here and be like that I don't have no tension. That would be a lie, both globally and locally and personally. But if it takes some of the edge off to start, then do that. Like, as long as it's not harming anybody, then do it.
Yeah, really, just do it. I mean, I was trying to remember the song. I think it's Sheryl Crow. It's like, if it makes you happy, it can't be that bad.
Can't be.
Yeah. So yeah, that's what it is, and that can look like any number of things for everyone who's different, and that is 110% okay.
Literally,
we are living in crazy times.
I would love some precedented times.
Girl,
as a millennial,
unprecedented times.
I would love to go back to precedent, because unprecedented times, I'm really tired.
Time when the biggest issue was a tan suit.
Yeah. Yes.
That's it.
That would be great.
Thanks.
That would be wonderful.
Thanks. But obviously, you've learned a ton along the way. So, what advice would you give 18-year-old Lauren?
Oh, my word. Fun thing. I try to check in with her from time to time. Do what feels right, because it can't be wrong. And that the only person that you really need to be true to is yourself. And I know, with the beauty of hindsight, right, that the journey I went on to get to where I am today had to happen exactly the way that it did. And it could not have happened any differently. But if I could go back and tell myself one thing, it would be, do what you want to do. Not what you think somebody wants you to do. Not what you think your parents want you to do. Not what you think the church wants you to do. Not what you think your friends want you to do. Do what you want to do, to the good of all and to the harm of none, but most of all, to the good of yourself.
That is excellent advice. See, it sounds like a teacher. That's some teacher shit right there. So,
it's just it's in me, and I can't. And I ran for so long, years. Yeah, I ran for years, and I just stopped running.
Look, I get the Laura. You should totally be a coach. Almost every week, especially doing all of these interviews, and I'm like, I want nothing to do with that. Because I'm a bit of an empath, and so I can't absorb that, because I won't be able to get out of bed if I have to hear all these stories. But on the same token, I'm like, oh, there are ways I'm going to have to sort of incorporate this into my actual life and make this part of my many careers, because I can't escape it entirely.
No. So as soon as you can't escape something, you know that it has to get integrated some way.
Somehow, some way.
And it may not look like everybody else. Like, I've been a teacher my whole life. I wasn't always a classroom teacher, but I've been teaching people how to do things forever. And I can't specifically say that I'll be a classroom teacher forever, but the teaching is innate. It's going to happen no matter where I go.
No matter where you go. Oh, I got you. Same. Do you have a give and or ask of the audience?
Oh, man. Let's see. I think the one thing that I would ask, and this is totally non-personal, but like the next time you see somebody and you feel compelled to say something to them, especially if it's kind, say it. So I've made it a habit where if I'm in Starbucks or Dunkin' and I like somebody's hair or their shoes or their nails, tell them, because we don't know how like one piece of positivity could like help them out. That's like my global ask. I will say my personal ask, come find me on the social medias. I love to yap. I'm a yapper. Threads is my new BFF right now. I love Threads. I'm there.
I'm there too.
Yeah, like it's great. And I have both of my daughters are on a special needs cheer team, and they got their bid to go to Worlds in Orlando. So they're going to go compete to be world champions. So if you find me on the social medias and you see that GoFundMe link, click and share as wide as possible. Literally every dollar counts. Their team is all Black girls. And so coached by Black women, all varying levels of ability. So varying disabilities are on the team, but they have gotten their bid to go compete on the biggest stage. So really, if you find my socials, it's probably pinned or posted somewhere. So if you see it, just share it or donate if you feel so led, because Orlando is pricey. But yeah, that's it. Go be kind and then help these kids out. And if you know a teacher, go give them, send them some money to go get some call, or just send them some money, period. But we like gift cards to like Dunkin', Starbucks, Amazon, help us out.
Four Seasons Spa. I get you.
Yeah. Any and all of the above. All the above. Yes. Mm-hmm.
We'll put all the details in the show notes so folks can find the GoFundMe's and follow you on the channels. I'll find you on Threads myself.
Absolutely.
And also donate to your GoFundMe because it seems like an amazing opportunity for your girls. So
I'm thrilled for them and so excited that they got the opportunity, and I'm going to do literally everything in my power that's legal to make sure that they go. So
awesome. And now let's lead into my final question. What's one thing that gives you joy?
Oh man, that list, thank God, has expanded over the last 6 months. But I will say music. Music is my first love and has been the most consistent presence in my life. And it is what gives me the greatest of joys right now.
Personally. Okay, what are you listening to? So I gotta know, what are we listening to?
Of course we're listening to Beyonce because we just have to. But I'm also a very big Eric Roberson fan. I love the Foreign Exchange. I'm really into Kendrick Lamar, period.
DNX.
Have to. Like, especially after last night.
Oh,
and then
it's glorious.
It was amazing. The best thing. And I'm more of a song listener than an album listener. So like I will curate a good playlist and like just go track to track and jump around track to track. But like all those that I just named are very much album listens for me. And then like I'll go deep into like Earth, Wind and Fire and Stevie Wonder and the Jacksons, and because Black and raised the way I was raised and who I was raised by. But yeah, right now, music, and it all depends on the mood I'm going for. But we're in, because I really want it to be warm outside. I'm at like Black cookout music playlist, and I don't even have to tell you what's on there. You already know.
I already know.
Yep.
Before I let go.
Da, da, da.
And Cuff It, obviously. So, Laura, you have been such a wonderful delight. And like I said,
this has been great.
Thank you so much for doing this. I mean, oh my goodness. The work that you do to help and inspire and be a beacon of light to kids is so necessary and so needed especially in these unprecedented times. And I hope for the day that we will have precedented times to get again.
Listen, that's going on the altar because I need some precedents.
Yeah, just
in my life.
Light all the candles for the precedented times, because my Lord.
Absolutely.
But thank you so much for being part of 29 Days of Magic. We'll put all details in the show notes for following on social and via GoFundMe. It's an amazing opportunity. We want to make sure your girls get to go and have an amazing time in Orlando and see Mickey and Minnie Mouse. But thank you so much for being part of 29 Days of Magic.
Thank you for having me. This has been wonderful.
Awesome. And that is our show.